Remember when you told that guy you were still on the Nick Reckham, and he goes, hey, you should get off it. And you were like, well, and he goes, oh, come on, give it a whirl. like it's an addiction. You just go around telling people, he's still on that crack. You might like being sober. Give it a whirl. Get he's thinking it's like trying cheesecake. Give it a whirl. Why not?
This is Bonnie yesterday. Welcome to My Wife.
I never said that yesterday.
Show.
That's not me.
No, I'm going to tell you what you did yesterday. Welcome to My Wife Hates Me. Give us a call, 866-969-1969, 866-969-1969. This weekend I'll be local at the the Comedy Cove in Springfield, New Jersey, Friday and Saturday.
Local. The Comedy Cove. Man, that's a great place to see stand-up comedy at the Comedy Cove.
It's kind of a cool place. I haven't been there in like 8 years.
Bob, not yet.
But it's a good room.
Keep the whole show.
And then the following week,
we're not even on the air yet. We practice.
We're not even on the air.
We practice a little bit first.
Oh, fuck. And then the following week, I'm in Cuyahoga Falls.
You're allowed to swear.
I'm at Comedy...
Cuyahoga Falls.
At, what's it called? The Funny Stop in Cuyahoga. That's next week.
The Funny Stop.
This weekend, go to
Comedy Cove in New Jersey. The Funny Stop in Cohangi.
Cuyahoga Falls.
Cuyahoga Falls.
And I want to just give a shout out to all my friends at Callaway Golf. Callaway Golf.
It's nice.
Callaway Golf.
I got nothing to plug. Fake shit me mouth.
It's because
shut it.
I sold my other clubs and I got another set of Callaways, and those are my clubs.
Oh, guess what? We had a lot of cancellations. So Bob DeBono's here tonight.
That was even anyone walking in. The janitor wasn't here to come in. Come in.
I was going to say...
Can I talk now?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Is it on my
Bob DeBono, who is the best impressionist working today, hands down.
Thank you.
What I like about
I'm reading your bio, and this is from his website.
This is what I like about Bob. When he does an impression, he doesn't turn around and fix his hair.
like the 80s.
Like the 80s guys.
Watch this,
and they come back and do Jack Nicholson. They don't do Jack Nicholson.
But let's start people off slowly because Bob does an incredible impression, guys. Let's see if you can figure out who this is.
Okay, so, look, here's the deal, okay? Look, my wife has the flattest ass. The other day I was fucking her from behind. I thought I was fucking Jackie Chan's face.
Oh, my God, but that
doesn't sound like me at all.
Okay, first of all, it does. Sometimes when you're yelling at me, I think it's like you're doing an impression of Bob DeBono doing you.
Did you start laughing at him?
Yes. It's like gets too weird.
Let me tell you how fucked up Bonnie is.
Okay.
Yesterday she was giving me a lecture on how...
First of all, I said you might be going crazy, and then you just sang that song to me. I mean...
my oh my.
Oh, me oh my.
Me oh my.
How beautiful was that song?
Oh, wonderful. When you were singing it, I had chills.
What year did that go? When is that?
It's old. It's from Lulu. I mean,
he doesn't do anything before 1965. It's all...
She sang, her most popular song was To Serve With Love.
Look, I think we all have songs that we're a little bit embarrassed. Like Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh,
remember
Canadian.
Him? Yes. Sundown, you better.
Is he Canadian or no?
I don't know.
Like,
call in
he's an
if
Indian.
you know.
He's an Indian.
There's
Gordon Lightfoot.
There's another one I like, too, that I hear. The tree is gone, and and she just sing it.
Wait, Brad?
Wait, what is it?
There's certain songs they make your hair stand up, and then you feel ashamed that you like them.
But honey, I miss you.
Not Brad?
What song is it? No, I don't think it's Brad.
If you know what song he's doing, call in 866-969-1969.
And
he won't stop if I'm talking. I'm like a dog.
House store.
No, it's like it's so. She was in and all
Jim Croce?
alone, and she stubbed her toe. But what the heck? Oh, honey, I miss you.
I love those songs.
You'll know the song. Someone call in if you know that. But honey, I miss you.
We're not really helping them out very much.
It's about.
I don't even have any
honey, I miss you, my toe.
Some guy's wife that died.
Yeah.
And Cedar Tree, how big it's grown.
What song? Do you have a song that makes you kind of get teary or get really?
Yeah, our wedding song.
That's sweet. That's romantic.
I heard. Huh? Yeah, it's by the Righteous Brothers. because you lost that love and feeling. No, I heard our wedding song coming in today.
Aw.
What song was it?
Were you listening to 60s on 6?
Spiral Staircase.
Really? That was it?
I love you more today than yesterday.
That was your wedding song?
We had to throw something together.
Well, this is the crazy thing is that we were in love.
When? When did that stop, though? I know it stopped.
It did stop, but we were in love. And I remember when we would like be laughing and
giggling. And
yeah, and he was driving and it came on the radio. We were like, this is it! Like, we thought it was perfect. And then as it got, people kept going like, really?
we all saw what you didn't say, and now you're starting to see it.
So yesterday, and then we'll take some calls because I think people know the song, and honey, I miss you. But yesterday, Bonnie was telling me, you're so gross, you're not couth or whatever, as she's scratching her fucking beaver.
I had a little bit of an itch.
She's fucking giving me a lecture.
No, I was giving him a lecture on, because I was across the room and I could hear. Right? So I said, you need to learn to eat with your mouth closed. And then he got mad at me. And then I said, look, just, be cool, be couth. And then I had a little itch.
And you said couth at the same time you're rubbing your little
she was scratching her fucking yeast infection.
It happens.
Your infection.
It happens. Okay, go ahead, whoever you are on the...
I was going to say that it's from...
Hey, the song Dipshit
Bobby
wants to
Glassboro.
know.
Oh.
Don't wait. Listen, you're calling this show.
The song Dipshit wants to know is...
Hang up on them. We don't want to know it from him. We're not listening.
Why?
Terry's Check.
What is it?
Terry Checks. Seasons in the Sun.
What?
Seasons in the Sun.
No,
we had to do that song.
That's the song you want to know. We had joy,
it's Honey,
we
isn't
had
it?
fun.
No, that's not the song, you fucking asshole. Go fuck yourself.
It's Honey.
How dare you fucking call in with the wrong answer, you piece of shit.
No
You
wonder
stupid. You're
dummy.
stupid. Now there's two of us.
That's
Okay,
not the
next
song.
caller.
Fucking asshole. Thought he knew the song. That's not the song.
It's Bobby Glassboro, Honey.
Oh, yeah? How does it go? Play a little of it.
Oh, no, I just pulled it up on the internet. Hold on.
Okay. How did you know that? Did somebody give you the answer?
Seasons in the
And
Sun.
Lightfoot is also, yes, he's from Canada.
Gordon Lightfoot?
Yes,
Oh,
he is.
look at that.
Look at Lewis is starting to work.
We did that as a concert song in second grade.
Wait.
Seasons in the Sun, but
I
it's
know.
kind of depressing.
How come the other guy hung up? Who's this? Take a call while he finds the song.
Well, but there's no name, so then I can't say like, hey.
Say, hey, who are you? That's how
But
you
they don't know that you're talking to them.
They will when they hear you.
How do you...
Hey,
Hey, you.
He's on the other line now. Oh, he's on the phone.
can you hear us? You're
Not
on.
working.
You're on. You're
He
off.
hung up.
They're all calling to say the same thing we just said. The artist name and title, and that's all.
That's all they got.
That's all they were, yeah.
A bunch of fucking asshole callers.
Give us a call, 866.
If you're not an asshole caller,
Cat Stevens.
Oh, I love Cat Stevens, but his songs aren't fucked up. His songs are great.
Jim Croce, Operator.
Father and Son by fucking Cat Stevens. You want me to do a little of that?
Yeah, sing it. How's that go?
It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young. That's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I
knows
am
the whole
old,
thing.
but I'm happy. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always
perfect. Pitch
been
perfect.
the same old story. From the moment I could walk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way.
and Bob DeBoto's
I
turning his
know
chair around.
that I have to go away.
You want him on your team, Bob?
I have.
What did I create?
See, I did both voices.
I
huh?
know, and you know the whole song, word for word. That's amazing.
Well, almost.
I fucked up one. Cat Stevens was fucking great.
Oh yeah, I know.
From extras. when
He's
we
a
saw-
Muslim and a terrorist.
I said was.
He's a terrorist, folks.
That's
I think
that's your opinion. You can't just call somebody a terrorist without say that's your opinion.
That's Entertainment Weekly's opinion.
No,
I don't know where I read that, but somewhere.
they didn't say he was a terrorist. They said he's a Muslim.
He's
got
on
stopped
the
at the
watch
air-
list
and he
or
got stopped at
something.
the airport.
Everybody's on the watch list. Okay,
Are you going to see that movie Snowden?
I don't know. I'm not.
I
planning.
read it. I listened to a review of it, and then from NPR, and the guy was like, I went home after watching that movie and put tape on my computer, like over the thing.
What's this caller have to say?
Now, you gotta You don't understand what's happening. When it's white like that, that means Lewis is talking to them. Lewis is like, hey, what are you calling about? It's a screener situation. Then when a name goes on and it turns a pink, then you can take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Bob, how are you?
I'm all right.
So,
Travel.
what's been going on with you? You've been getting all these TV appearances.
Nightly show.
The Nightly Show.
You ever watch it?
You're the reason it got canceled.
I know.
No.
Yeah, it's sad. The ratings were low.
How many times were you on it?
Oh, like 14.
No.
Yeah, I had a 5-month
contract.
Yeah,
exclusive.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get outta here.
exclusive?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Did anybody?
No.
You really had a contract?
I did. I did.
When I first met him, he was doing impressions
of you.
Caroline's.
Tell him how we all met. Let's go back.
No.
I don't know. I don't remember how we all met.
We knew each other before you came in the fold.
Can I tell you how I met this fucking Jamoke?
My Yoko Ono bullshit.
Can I tell you how I met him?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to tell a story. You can calm down.
And then I'll give the real story.
Well, listen, we've got 2 fucking hours to fill. That's a lot of time. So when someone else is talking, you can just shut the fuck up for a second.
Okay.
There you go. Now go ahead.
Yeah, Caroline's opened up. They tried to open up a theme restaurant upstairs called Comedy Nation, I think.
Yeah.
And Bob used to go from table to table doing impressions.
No.
It's one step below being homeless.
He was doing...
One step below.
He was doing Clinton impressions.
I was trying to become homeless, but I was doing that first.
Yeah, but you couldn't get out of that gig.
He was doing Clinton impressions outdoors as a barker. He was barking people as Clinton.
Okay, but wait, you'd been a comic already, or you were? This was how you started?
I wasn't a comedian at all.
How did you start?
I was just an idiot.
How did you start doing impressions?
I started when I was 10.
On Long Island?
No, I'm not from Long Island.
Oh, you're not?
I'm not a
You're
racist.
From Jersey? Where are you from?
No, I grew up in Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh, I didn't know because of the way you're dressed.
We call it white trash.
He was in marketing, advertising.
I worked. I had
selling billboards.
So this is how it started for me. You really want to hear this? It's probably kind of boring.
That's why we got no other guests. So we got to.
Where the fuck is everybody?
We got to do what we can do.
There's 8 names on there, and no one's here but me.
We know that.
Believe me, we feel it.
We feel it. I was in sales, and I used to sell the billboards in Times Square, and I was making like a really great living, great money.
What was the most money you ever made in 1 year? Are you allowed to say?
I mean, not like ridiculous. No, I went to school for advertising. I went to school in Boston, came here, worked at like Weiner Advertising. I was making like $23,000 a year. Like I mean, garbage money. When you're in advertising, you make no money for like a long time. Right. But then if you go on the sales side, that's where all the money is. And you start like selling like trades or magazines and then I ended up on the sales side selling the billboards. And the average billboard in Times Square is around $50,000 to $70,000 a month. So if you sell one for a year, Johnny Walker for 1 year, you get like 2% of that. And then you have a salary.
So 2% of $1 million is fucking $20,000.
All right. Yeah, but remember that's one sale.
Yeah.
So I mean, my first by my 4th year I was making like 180, 170.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And you quit that?
I gave it all up
to do this.
And how often?
Show.
And how
often? Comedy Nation going, hey.
Yeah. Hi folks, how are you? How do you like those jalapeno poppers? Don't you notice I'm Bill Clinton with my wig on? Come on, everybody. Come on. You know who it is. I didn't know. I used to be a sales rep. Now look at me. I'm an idiot.
Did anyone from your work ever come and see you?
No.
Oh,
thank God.
That would have been so embarrassing.
So if the weight on them is Ralph Cramden. So you want to get me to get you a hot dog, huh? Oh, well, I'll be right back. Oh, you're going to get it. Yeah, it was that did happen to me. I've had so many humiliating things happen to me. I used to work my day job, and then I'd go out at night and do the bar shows, right? Because in New York, you're just trying to get on stage. So I would leave there, and I remember one time I left a meeting. Now, CEO of the company, this guy's making like 400 G's. He's like huge, and this is a Clear Channel, so this guy's huge up on the totem pole. So I remember going, I got to leave the meeting early. and I kind of fibbed. I got to go home. I have a family thing. So I leave, and like a half hour early. It's like 4:00, and I go out, and then all of a sudden I have to go over to Gladys, this place called Gladys, like a little hamburger joint,
Right.
but they used to have comedy at night.
Gladys owned it or something?
Yeah, and she
I
was
think
wacky.
I did that show.
You probably did. I'm still doing it. And so I went over there, and they're like, look, you got to get on stage, you got a flyer. So you got to go outside, and you're going to take these flyers, and you're going to go out there, like a lot of new comics, and you're just going to bark people in for like 2 hours. So I'm out there, and it's like first half hour in, handing these things out, yelling people, get out of here. All of a sudden I turn around and I hand one to the CEO as he's walking to the train at Grand Central.
Wait.
Did he recognize you?
I was still in my suit.
What did he say?
What did he say? He was like, almost fired me right then and there. He was embarrassed. He was like, what are you doing out here?
And then you had to go back to work the next
No,
day.
yeah, I was humiliated, and I thought I was going to get fired. And he walked by me like in a huff. He just walked away like
he couldn't understand
like
it
he didn't
at
get
all.
it. He didn't get it, and he's walking away, and I was like, no, I do this. I'm just getting a little 5 minutes. He just walked away, stormed off. I was guy hated me after that.
But it was good. It was good practice for the humiliation that was
I'll be getting the rest of my life, which is every day, every night. So that's how it started.
So did Rich make fun of you?
Yeah. So he was waitering at I was waitering at Caroline's.
Yes. Well, I was like, Rich,
Yeah,
wait.
no, he wasn't.
Never did
Okay, 2 for 1. Okay, you want the burger?
So I was.
You ribs? Of course you do. You're black. I'll be right back. Okay.
So I get a job there, doing like
At Caroline's downstairs?
upstairs
Yeah.
at Comedy Nation. Had quit the day job, and I was doing that was actually
But were you
that was
happy?
Before, no, it was miserable. Louis Fran, can you do me a favor, Bobby? Put that little fucking wig on, okay? Put that wig on.
People don't know, but that
I don't
sounds
want to cut
exact.
your hours here, okay? We got Charlie Chaplin, okay? We got another guy dressed as Bozo the Clown. You got to wear the fucking wig. You got to do it, okay? I know you got the suit on for your day job. You got to put a wig on over it. Carry the banana out to the table. You got to do it, or you don't work here. It's just that simple, you little shit.
Oh my God.
You want to be a comedian or not? Put the fucking wig on. It was so many levels of humiliation.
I didn't trash you, did I?
No.
And then at what point did you
start trashing me after that?
So then you started going on stage. You started getting stage time.
So then I was doing sketch comedy first. So I was a part of a troupe.
Sketchy comedy or sketch comedy?
What'd you put?
Sketchy or...
Sketchy was both. So I started doing sketch comedy at Caroline's upstairs in Comedy Nation, and which is this restaurant, like a theme restaurant, which is everyone, like, they have wait staff, and they have all these people that dress up in all these characters. It was kind of like, what was that movie? They did that. It was like John Travolta was in it.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction
Yes.
with Uma Thurman.
Exactly like
They sat in the cars.
So you sit
What
down.
did they do in Pulp Fiction?
They went to this restaurant that was like a theme restaurant where it was like Marilyn Monroe was serving people. And,
I don't remember that part.
That's where they probably got the idea.
I don't know the other.
Is that where they danced together?
They danced, and then they had milkshakes in a car.
Yeah, that's probably where they got the idea. And then for this theme restaurant, which was a good idea, but poorly executed. And then then here I am, and you walked around and you wore out for like $400 a week. You put these ridiculous outfits on. I walked around doing impressions. And then that's how I met him, because all these guys, they were all working comics. So these were guys like, you looked up to. They're all like these big shots.
Right.
And I'm up there like, running chicken fingers dressed as like Ralph Crampton.
But we get free food up there sometimes.
Yeah.
So we go
But would
upstairs.
anyone know who Ralph Cramden was?
No, nobody knew. It was ridiculous.
How can you not know who Ralph Cramden is?
No, I know who it is. I loved,
But
a
I
lot
mean,
of
just somebody dressed up as him.
well, also at
it's not
at
like
the
the
time I was
greatest-
26 years old. So you're
Yes.
26 dressed up as a guy from the 50s.
Yes, I mean,
They just thought I was a bus driver.
yeah. I could see how you could. It would be hard to make.
People just go, "Where's the schedule? When's the
It's
next?"
like Marilyn Monroe. You know who that is.
Yeah, right.
You put a white dress on her and that
Right.
hair.
No one thought I was Cramden. They just thought I was a bus driver.
Yeah, so funny.
People would just be like, "Dude, is the B60 stopping 42nd Street or not?" And I had to walk around screaming all day. One of these days, bang!
I worked on a movie once where one of the actors was dressed as a cop, and I for literally days thought the guy was a real cop, like
You
just
did?
there to make sure.
Security.
Yeah, what the fuck? I worked on the movie.
What
and I
movie
felt
was
for
that?
it. It was this movie I worked on in Canada. I worked on 2 movies in Canada. That one I think was called Sylvan Lake Summer.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of those actors actually, I wish I could remember his name. I've seen him in real movies, big movies. He did okay.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in Canada.
Oh, there goes the thunder of this show.
So that's how we met.
Sylvan Lake Summer. If you've seen it, give us a call.
So he would be down there every night. Like he'd be there back then. Remember, like you were like there all the time. You'd host a lot of the shows.
Yeah, I did college.
You'd be sitting there on the stool.
They
with
managed me for a while.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, when they had their management company.
Oh, what happened?
Their management company. They stopped it.
Yeah, but you, him, Norton, Tom Papa, Tom Shalhoub, Patrice. Remember, like Jordan Rubin.
Yeah, I did a lot of the black shows there too.
You did. He would literally make, he would make people literally stand up and be throwing like, you know how they get. They start running around the aisles.
I do. I sure do.
You know who was
those audiences?
You know who was the nighttime?
Jam.
You know who was the nighttime manager there?
Who
was the nighttime manager at Caroline's during the week? Who's a famous fucking movie
Bobby
star?
Finaro is my friend.
No, not him too. He was on Sopranos, but he's 10 times more famous than Bobby.
Who?
What's his name? Idris
Elba.
Idris Elba.
Who is that? He worked at Caroline's?
Yeah, you don't.
What?
He was
maybe
a
it was before
bouncer.
my time.
No, he wasn't a bouncer.
He was a host?
He was like the nighttime manager, the floor manager.
Oh.
I remember Bobby Finaro.
I never met him. He was
Show was busy. Get in there. Go sit in the back there. He was always whispering like this.
Yeah,
put you in the back.
You don't know who he is? The other guy?
Remember like this? You don't remember this guy?
No.
Bobby Finaro.
He's the one on Sopranos that hung himself in the garage.
He talks like he's always like trying to tell you a secret. Come here. This guy's trying to side rap me. I don't like his attitude.
Side rap you? What does that mean?
Side rap me, Bobby. I don't trust him. I like to hurt him. I don't like his attitude.
He was also in the
Who
movie.
loves you?
He was also in the movie. What was the movie with?
Do you do anybody famous?
No. Well, I tried doing him. He's failing. So what am I supposed to do?
He was in the movie. What was the movie with?
He was in Bobby.
Who's the guy that played the gladiator? Russell Crowe.
Oh.
What was the movie where Russell Crowe was a cop, a Jersey cop? I think Denzel. It wasn't Training Day. It was the other one.
L.A. Confidential.
No, with all the coke, the heroin, Denzel. What the fuck?
Bobby was in that? I didn't even know that.
Yes, he played the New York detectives.
I don't know if which is better, this or the you guys trying to figure out a song.
No, wait, no, it's a famous
or just
fucking
both of us
movie.
sleeping.
Yes.
What do you call? What's the movie, Lewis? What's the movie with Denzel where he was the biggest
He's
drug
looking
dealer?
it up right now.
It's based on a true story. He played the drug dealer. Ricky.
Talking about American Gangster.
Yeah, what's it?
American Gangster?
Yeah, that was Denzel and Bobby was remember the cops in New York.
So he played one of the cops.
He played one of those fucked up cops. Remember they pulled over Russell Crowe and took his fucking money or whatever.
I didn't see the movie, but
it's
that's
fucking.
It's great.
One of the greatest fucking movies.
Oh, and I need to see it then. So
American Gangster. You didn't
never saw it.
Oh, it's so.
I gotta see it.
I honestly, I always like sit in my car thinking like, I wish there was a show where I could just hear people trying to remember names and lyrics.
All right, then why don't we? Let's talk about the time you called a girl a cunt and you almost started a riot outside Stand Up New York.
Oh, wait.
When he was at let's talk about that funny story.
I was sticking up for him.
Everyone deserves to hear that one.
I was sticking up for him.
I know you were.
Those girls would have fucked you up.
I know. They were like city girls.
I was not scared at all.
They were like Queen.
The thing is, I always think people underestimate me.
Why don't you tell everyone quickly how that started?
I don't remember exactly. I'd gone up and did a
Here's the funny, let me just give my assessment of you. Here's the funny thing about Bonnie is that Bonnie is pretty, right? Very attractive, well-spoken, articulate.
I just got my eyelashes done.
Very articulate, hilarious.
When you real quick,
what?
I guess like when you have like a brand new Bentley, but after like 11 years, it's just a Bentley,
right? And there's a scratch on it.
Go ahead.
So, she's
it's an older model, but still runs fine.
So what happened?
Needs an oil change.
Always. Scratch.
Beat me to it. So yeah, she's articulate, pretty, funny, and very white. So you wouldn't think.
Well, that's the thing. People underestimate.
And she's not like. There's nothing boyish about her. I mean, she's very like feminine. And then you see, but there's another part of her that is will throw daggers. My mother's the same way. Like my mother will, at a drop of a hat, will just say the worst undercut things when you're in an argument with her. Does she do that with you? Like just goes.
Does your mom have a strap on?
No. Yeah, you're right. Big difference. Yeah, total, like just. unbelievable sharp tongue out of nowhere. You don't even see it coming. You don't even have to get her angry to do it. She'll say it with a smile where you're like, where the freak did that just come from?
Did you just say where the freak? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I could swear. Fuck. All right.
So these two biatches came out and
First
they were
you
like
went on stage,
right, and then Rich was on.
He went on after you. You bombed as usual. Then he went on.
Thank you. I consider that a win. What I did that night.
You went on. You did fine.
And then the girls came out and they were like, "You were really funny" or whatever. So
now, mind you, everyone, she just got a compliment. That enough for me would have been enough.
Like,
I would have thrown him under the bus.
Oh no, I was planning on it. I have a rule. See, because women, I used to travel with him, and women would come up to me and be like, "You don't have to go on the road with him all the time, do you? He's awful." Like they'd be, and I would never embarrass them unless they profess to know about stand up. That's when I get pissed off. So if somebody says like, "And I know stand up," then I'll let them have it.
Okay. That was what put you over the edge.
Yeah, I just let it go unless. So that's what happened. These two girls came out. They were like, "You were good." And I was like, "Thank you." And then they said, "This guy is a piece of shit."
You were still on stage.
And I think I was like, "Why? What's he doing?" And they started telling me. And then they're like,
and they were probably right.
No, they were probably drunk, and I probably laid into them.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, whatever happened, they went around the corner until they knew what they were talking about, stand-up wise. And
then
I don't remember what I said, but
Psycho Bonnie came out.
I said.
Then you said with us. You didn't even take a beat.
I said you're too dumb to know or something.
You said a smile. You went, "Oh yeah, you really think that? Well, that's funny because you're really ugly."
Oh.
You didn't say that.
She said that.
I did, but I think that was the second thing I said.
And I just said, I was like, "What the? What's happening here?"
I do remember now.
It was like a 5-minute pause where the girl was like, "Yo, what you just said? Wait, you just fucking called me ugly? You just called me ugly? Are you fucking?" Wait, she's looking at her friend. She called me fucking ugly.
So I'm not scared at all because I feel like I could take them.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm frightened for you.
Yes, you came out, and I'm still, coming back at them verbally. I was having fun. And then one of the girls took off her jacket and I saw that like
Pinky Tuscadero.
I saw that she was ripped, like that kind of meth addict ripped. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. And then I started feeling my hand because I was like, oh, this hand is going to hurt. This hand is going to hurt after I hit that.
Yeah. She went ballistic. And remember, everyone had to hold her back.
Yeah, there was like a
And you wouldn't shut up. You just kept going. You're like just talking more shit behind everybody. Blocking
People were
her.
holding them back, and then I was like...
And then meanwhile, while that was happening, someone was still offering her free tickets to go back to the club. Free tickets to come back.
The cops did come, but they'd already taken off by that point.
Yeah.
Those girls.
And then you called them pigs. Remember, you're like, "Oh, thanks for coming, pigs."
No, I did not.
No, she didn't do that.
Wait, I came outside because they were still out there, I think, right?
Yeah.
At one point, you came out.
And you were there. What's her name was with you?
Mandy Stabmiller could not believe this was going down.
Yeah. And she's fucking like 12 feet tall.
She's like 8 feet tall. Why didn't she
Rich rushed out because he wanted to add them on his Facebook.
I was trying to sell
I think
CDs.
She went in and got you, didn't she?
I don't know, maybe. Yes,
she went in and got somebody. She was like, oh, shit.
It was
too real for me.
Well, those girls were fucking
Yeah.
ruthless.
They were
they wanted to kill me.
Well, Bob, didn't I have to call Bob and fucking scold him because he called you a cunt or something?
Okay, that was no. That
Wow.
was years before. Well, I don't remember how we met. How did we meet?
Huh?
He got mad that you were getting stage time or something.
No, I didn't.
This
What
is
is
what
this?
happened.
Well, tell me what
Oh
happened.
my gosh!
I think that you and I had just gotten married.
You did.
And then I was sitting at the bar.
You did because I was trying to stop it.
Yeah. And I said, it's too late. It's happening. No, then we were sitting at the bar and you just were asking questions about where I work.
No, it's not true.
Yes. And then you said...
you play moderator. She goes her version and I'll give mine.
Okay, so Bonnie, you tell your story. Go ahead.
Okay,
you have 2
so
minutes.
as I recall... Yes.
You have 2 minutes.
All right, and
you got to
go.
interrupt me.
Excuse me. Wrong. You're wrong. Completely wrong. You know what you're talking about. Go ahead. You're wrong, okay? You're an idiot.
He said, he was asking me and I was telling him where I work. And then he said, you probably wouldn't get that much stand up if it wasn't for Rich. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you get a lot of gigs because of Rich. That's why you're working here. That was at Stand Up New York. And I got fucking pissed. And I don't remember what happened after that, but then I went in the car and I was...
And then I took off my jacket and you saw my meth arms.
I saw your meth arms. I was like, oh, shit.
So then what happened?
I remember just telling you in the car, but then the next day you called
him over that. He had to say something more negative or more derogatory.
Not at all.
He might have or might not. I don't remember. That's the part I remember.
No, I probably was trying to look for work.
Then he called me ugly.
Oh. Wait, I thought you had a gig.
No, but you're basically saying that there's no way I could be passed at all these clubs if it wasn't for Rich.
Well, I did help. No. Look at you. Why'd you get mad? Why would you get mad?
Because I don't feel like dealing with,
That's your 2 minutes. You go. 2 minutes.
Systemic sexism that appears to be happening.
Now, what happened with you?
All right. So you want now? Here's the real version.
That's your version.
I can't. No one will get to see. No one will get to see my face.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm just doing Hillary.
Oh, you did Hillary. Yeah. You're wrong. Okay. So what happened was.
Do it as Trump, though.
She came into the club, okay? She came into the club with Rich. She went on stage, and she was telling me, I work all over the place. I'm always constantly doing clubs and everything. And, it was fine. I said, good. It was actually, I think, my show. I asked her to do my show. And then she said, this is a real racket. You have the show. And I said, well...
I do think I was
And I said, well, a racket. I don't know what you mean by racket. Okay, it's a show I do every week. And she's like, well, there's bringers on it. I said, well, there's amateurs. It's not me. It's just the club gave me a show, and they put amateurs on it. And then she was rigged. She was like the media. She was being rigged. She took what I said out of context, folks. Believe me, she did it, okay? And then I said, look, I don't know why you're saying a racket. That's not very nice when I went out of my way to put you guys on my show. And then she said, well, who gives a shit? I'm good. I work everywhere. I've been on TV. I got a lot of credits. I got more credits.
Never would say that.
And then I said, well, I'm sure that's great, but it must be hard for you to get on stage.
I hope those fact checkers are getting that website going.
Excuse me.
Donald doesn't pay taxes.
You're wrong. Excuse me. And then I said, look, I'm sure, because he works a lot as a headliner, and he's working in these clubs, he brings you with him. It's good for you to get into the clubs. And she went absolutely nuts, folks. I mean, she went nuts. Unbelievable. It's like you're stuck with a knife. She went ballistic. Okay, she went completely undone. Cheeks were, turned blue, everybody. Completely blue. Wait. She went ballistic. Started yelling very loudly. I was like, I don't know what you're yelling about. I'm just trying to say. The next day I get a phone call. 10 o'clock in the morning from her fucking husband, okay, who knows nothing about what happened, of course.
I begged him not to call, by the way.
She didn't, folks. I know exactly what she did.
I begged him not to call. I begged him. And
she did not. All she did was talk shit about me.
Because we were in a hotel, and I was like, please don't let it go. And you were like, you don't let stuff go. That you were teaching me life then. Remember, you were like, you don't let stuff go.
But what did I say? I didn't yell. I just asked what went on.
What happened, folks? I got a call, okay, from Rich. Nice guy, good, fantastic guy, good guy. Known him for a long time. Didn't want him to get married. It was a mistake. He knew it. I knew it. We were all against it, but he did. It was too bad. It was another mistake. A glitch. We called it a glitch. That's when him and Norton stopped being friends. But we went on there. I got a phone call. I picked it up. I said, what's going on? He said, well, my wife is very hurt, folks. You hurt her feelings. And I'm like, I just woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, what are you upset about? And he goes, she said that you said she doesn't work anywhere. She's very upset. And meanwhile, while he's saying this, she's in the background yelling at him to yell to me. So she's yelling at him to yell at me, telling him what to say.
No,
so it's a lie.
Don't.
Complete lie.
Hang
Crooked Bonnie. Okay, Crooked Bonnie just said a minute ago that she didn't want him to call, yet she's in the background yelling to him, and tell Bob this. That he did this to me too. And I was completely
fact checkers.
And then Rich got off the phone and started screaming at her at one point and said, let me listen to what the fuck he's trying to say. And that's what happened, folks.
But we didn't have any controversy, you and I.
No. No, it was.
But you almost got in a big brawl.
I saw you get in a fight with someone else at Stand Up New York.
Who?
Who? I don't want to say her name, but you took her
Danielle?
chair, you took her stool.
Oh, Marion Groden. I'll say it. Marion Groden is insane.
Marion Groden lost her fucking mind on him one night.
She's insane. Okay, how much medication is she on? And it don't help. She's been on it for 30 years.
Wait, what happened with her?
She's nuts.
You're getting a lot of fights. I'm going to bring up another one.
I know which one's coming.
I don't know what what happened, because I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden she was yelling at him.
Yeah.
You know, in Stamp, New York, before they opened up the comics room upstairs or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Which
just had
no
to
one
sit
uses.
at the bar while the second show was waiting, so it was packed in there. And I guess she was emceeing, and you had taken her stool.
Yeah, you all remember we were all hanging out, and then she
we're
came
just
over
sitting
and
in
had
that
blew a
one
conniption.
area.
That girl is so good looking, the one on CNN. So,
The blonde?
no, the other one, that one.
Oh, yeah, she's pretty. She's naughty. Mm-hmm. She doesn't scratch her beaver.
I bet she does. I'll bet she does. If you scratched your beaver, call us at 866-969-1969.
So what happened when Marion, what happened?
I don't know.
You took her
She's
chair?
came
I don't
over.
remember what happened, but she lost her mind.
Marion's very talented, hilarious,
Very funny.
So
Very funny.
But Marion suffers from the diva complex where she thinks she acts like she's a celebrity and everyone's got to carry her bags. That's how she treats everybody.
Her father's a celebrity.
Yeah. I love her dad. The reason why I was always friends with Marion because she looks like her father. Because I like she reminds me of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she got the same mouth, you know. And it's what comes out of it. What I don't like. But she okay. So she.
But I do.
How come she's never done our show? Has she?
She has done our show.
She's very talented.
She did this one. The radio show.
Yes, because she wrote a book and we promoted her book.
Did it sell anything? I mean,
I guess it must have done very well. It's a really good book.
I know it's about growing up.
Yeah, growing up as the daughter of.
But who would read that when her dad's like 90? But who's reading it?
But her dad is so funny.
I love her dad. But who's reading that book? Unless you're like a devout fan of hers, why would you get? People that are her father's age are not going to read that book.
This is the kind of thing that he was doing to me that I got upset. See?
Yeah,
he just is negative to people.
First of all, people that would read her.
Who's gonna book you if it's not for him? Huh? I mean, nobody cares about you.
And by the way, going to that fight, that if I now looking back at it,
I did say mean things about.
You said mean things what happened was.
You know what? You're right. I do remember. I do remember this, and I will apologize.
You own it.
But you did a show where it was like a bringer show.
It's a pro show, and they put amateurs on it.
They had to bring people,
and then you said, "What kind of racket is this?"
Yeah, and I was being kind of whatever
so
about it.
And that's what I told him.
And I didn't think, but I didn't honestly until years later. I didn't even think that was a thing. That I didn't think I was being rude.
Yeah, but isn't that your problem?
Yes. It takes me
you don't know what the fuck comes out of your mouth.
It takes me 2 years.
My mother's the same way. My mother won't own it for like 5 years. I never said that. Oh, yeah, maybe I did.
Oh, no, I knew I said it, but I was like, well, it's a racket, so I don't understand why you get upset about that.
Now, meanwhile, at the time, the other caveat was when every time, like, I would, because I knew him, I didn't know you, because you guys, I never knew you until you got whatever. And then I would always call him and go, "Hey, you want to come do the show?" You know? Right. And then he would always go, "No, can I do it? Can I bring Bonnie?" And then I would always be like, yeah, of course, you know, because I liked him. And then I was like, I didn't want to be disrespectful to you. So then when you came, that was the first time I met you. Oh. You did that. And I was like, that's not cool.
That wasn't the first time.
Maybe the second time.
No,
The second? How many times did I meet you before that?
I did it a couple times at Caroline's, and this was a stand-up New
maybe.
York.
And then you just, I was like, I didn't know you. And I was like, that's not very nice. Like,
you're right. It wasn't very nice. I apologize. And
I didn't try. I wasn't trying to be mean to you, but I did try to. I felt like I needed to bring you down a notch.
Right.
That was my Aries alpha.
You know why? Because Danielle had told me.
Yeah, who's it fucking insane,
yes.
by the way.
Okay, now I know that also.
Yeah, now you finally know. So now
like literally.
You were friends with her.
Yeah. And
what happened there, by the way? How did that implode?
Well, you know what's funny?
That's the girl that said that leads to the next fight. Oh, this is all connected.
Wait, let's talk about the next fight. Then you'll
what's
talk
the
about
next fight?
He almost had a fight with can I say
Gary Goldman? Who cares?
He almost had a thing with Gary Goldman.
We didn't even know each other, me and Gary.
Because Gary was dating Danielle.
So what happened? That you and Gary had a fallout.
No, Danielle, who worked there, was nuts, and then she used to make up she was kind of pathological, you know?
She's a pathological?
Like really,
allegedly.
like psychotic. And she walked out, and she didn't like me, she didn't like anyone there. And then I told her, she was at my show, and I said, I told the manager, I don't want her hanging out at my show. And then she left, and then she went down to Gary Goldman, and then told Gary that I called her a cunt.
Oh.
Which I never said, but I would have said it. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, it didn't come out.
Did Gary call you?
He called me on the phone. He was like, I think he was like a little drunk, and he was just like, what the fuck you doing calling my girl Danielle? You calling her a cunt? Like, I look like a total bully,
Right.
If someone, you came and told him something like that, the first reaction of a guy is like, he's going to get his back up.
I told him something much smaller, and his first reaction was like,
no, her ex-boyfriend, someone called her a cunt, and he called the guy the next morning and goes, hey.
oh no, that guy called me. It's in the book. You can get it on Amazon. I'm sure. Who's going to read your book? Who's going to read that?
Not Marion Groden.
Anyway, yeah. So this guy called me a cunt. Like, this was when I was living in Los Angeles, and my other the one I let get away. Anyway, he called me a cunt so many times I had to leave the comedy club. This was still his payphone days. Then he used the payphone outside and called my home. When I was on my driving home, I guess, because when I got home, there was like 11 more messages of him calling me a cunt.
And he owed her money.
Yeah, he owed me money. And he took some money out of his pocket and threw it on the floor, and I just picked it up and put it in my pocket, and then kept talking to someone. And that's what made him mad. That's why he started yelling that I was a cunt.
So how did he get involved in that?
No. So Mark, my boyfriend at the time, the next day, I was like, you have to call him. And, whatever.
Wait, you wanted Rich to call your ex?
No. I was living with Mark, this other guy. Rich I didn't even know Rich yet.
This guy called her a cunt when she was with her ex-boyfriend.
Yes. So, but he was my boyfriend at the time. I was living with him. So I say, Mark, please, can you call him? That's like so shitty what he did. Like a total of 20 times he called me a cunt or something. And,
so you told one guy to call the other guy who called you a cunt.
Yes.
To do what? Tell him to call.
I don't know what I wanted him to stick up for. I wanted him to be mad. He wasn't mad. Because when I first told him, he was like, that's whatever the guy's name is.
He's like, yeah, you are.
That's the way he is. And then I was like, no. And then I was getting mad because he didn't care. And then he called the guy and he goes, hey, buddy.
So that was it? They became
Give
friends?
Me a call back.
And then the guy called back?
I don't know. I mean, they know each other.
Now they're probably best friends.
Well,
hey, buddy.
So, now Gary, I
didn't know Gary at all. I never met him in my life.
Is there any fights we don't know about that you want to share now?
Well, some with my dad I'll share.
Oh, no,
my mother hit my dad over the head with a plate. He had to go to the hospital when I was like 10.
God,
we'll get into
scared?
that in a minute. No, I was cheering her on.
Wow. Was he a drunk?
No, my dad was not. He was a screamer.
Oh.
My mother, he'd be he'd point it in your face, and my dad would scream and go ballistic and go, God damn son of a bitch. And my mother's like, get out of my way. I'm swearing God, don't point your finger in my face. He's like, God damn fucking kids. This place is always a fucking And my mother grabbed a plate, smacked him over the head. It's still true. He starts bleeding. I'm like 8. Bleeding. I see this. I'm like,
he said 10 a minute ago. But
no, whatever. I'm like, no, because they got divorced when I was 10. So I was 8 and a half. So he hits him in the head. Now he's bleeding. He thanked my mother. He goes, thanks. I was out of control.
Sounds like a great guy.
So then they got to go to the hospital. He has to get stitches, and my mother's crying. Because she realized, well, she's like you. She realizes after she did something horrible that she did something horrible.
So 2 years later.
So she smacked him with a plate. He's bleeding, and then she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that." Then she starts crying. He's like, "No, I was out of control. Thank you." They get in the car. They got.
Don't you have a brother?
What? I have what?
Don't you have a brother?
I have a half brother. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was in the story.
No, he's not in the story.
Oh, just you by yourself.
No, he's autistic. He was in the other room rocking. So he wasn't there.
I wanted to know. You're alone as an 8-year-old.
No, I have a sister too.
Oh, okay.
She's there also.
Okay.
So now they go to the hospital. We don't go, and they have to make up a lie because this is back in the 70s. You had to lie about hitting people.
Oh, what? Now you can just tell the truth. I beat the shit out of her. Sew her up.
All right, go on in. He's fine. We'll tape it all up. Now we got to get a new set of china.
Yeah. So they go in there, and my mother's sobbing in the car. My dad's bleeding. She makes him drive, and they get to the hospital, and they say that my dad fell down a flight of stairs.
Well, they gotta know. It's on the top of his head. The
doctor goes, yeah. So he goes, oh, well, do you keep china at the bottom of your stairs because the piece hanging out of your husband's head? I couldn't believe my mother didn't get arrested.
Oh my
Thank God. But yeah, they had a really tumultuous.
Now they would have reported.
Yeah.
Call right. Oh, wait, we got a call. Let's take a call.
Oh, it's
Marion Groden.
Marion Groden.
By the way, Marion's very talented. Just so people don't run back to her. She's so very, very funny.
Nobody listens to the show.
Oh, you're right. All right, she's a cunt.
Hey, boom! Now you're gonna get a call from her dad. Did you call my daughter?
You're probably give me a part in his movie.
Oh, Dr. Jeff. Hello. Wait, I can't get it.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm trying to do it. It's not working. Oh, there we go.
Is this Dr. Jeff?
Dr. Jeff.
How's it going?
Hey, you got something to say for Bob DeBono here and his sad family dynamics?
I mean, this just sounded like a therapy session, so I figured I'd call and say, hey.
Yeah, it felt familiar to you?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, what do you think Bob's problem is? Do you know? Have you ever been to therapy, Bob?
Yeah, I have, actually.
So you know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
But this is Dr. Jeff can tell what's wrong with you in like 2 sentences. Ask him 2 questions and then tell him exactly what's wrong with him.
Me ask the questions?
You can ask the question.
Fire away.
You got to give me a problem. You can't walk into a doctor and a doctor looks at the patient and says, "Oh, you're good."
Bob is very OCD.
Major.
He'll check the oven and every light socket and everything.
I told this story to Rich once, and I'm embarrassed to tell it, but we lost the championship when I was a senior in high school.
Oh, I forgot about this. What happened?
It's not that funny. I don't even want to talk about it now.
Go ahead. Come on.
No, we were like...
This is hard for him to unpack. Okay.
This is a real deal here.
Yeah.
I wish you'd just hang up. We were like I have OCD, and I used to it's so hard for me. I'm getting teary. I used to have to check. I checked a lot. I used to have to check a lot of stuff, like. She stopped laughing. So I would check a lot, like ovens, Like my dad would go away, like on business trips, so I'd have to like check like light sockets and ovens, and then I got to get checking into more things, like anything electronic. I would check I would check our neighbor's stuff, thinking their stuff is off, and then I had this thing where I get these like little ticks. Like in my leg, like you feel like you have to move your leg a certain way, and then if you do move it the wrong way, something bad's going to happen. Do you know about OCD?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what's your specialty? I mean, big.
What happened? Tell the story.
I'm getting to the championship.
Well, don't ask his credentials. Just tell the story.
All right. So my OCD got worse and worse in high school. I was getting bad, and I hide it because you're filled with shame. Because they're never good compulsions like, oh, I have to, eat a banana twice. It's like weird things like you have to make an eye twitch, or you have to play with your foot, or you got to dance. Like I used to check the oven, but have to do like a little dance, like a jig,
Come on.
like stupid thing. I swear to God, I used to have to jump up and down and touch the ceiling 7 times before I checked the oven.
Oh my God.
7 times to touch the ceiling. And I had, like, this is when I was in college. I had roommates that were flipping out, like, fucking bouncing all over the place at 3:00 in the morning. So anyway, we were in high school, and I had this thing where I used to have to, like, move my leg around, and I would get these little, like these little ticks on my leg. And I had to do it a certain amount of times. It had to be even amount of times, which with OCD is popular, like numbers and counting.
Yes. Yeah,
sometimes even odd numbers.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, so my thing would be I'd have to do it like 7 times because 7 is my mother's birthday. So I was out in the field, and we all know that when you get, and you don't understand this because you don't understand anxiety.
I don't know when my mother's birthday is.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you have anxiety, and then you have a stressful situation, it makes you worse. So my tics were kind of under control most of the game, and I was kind of hiding it. But then the game was like, we were like up by a run or whatever, last inning. This is like for the championship. And now I'm feeling major anxiety because I'm like, this is it. What if the ball gets hit to me? And I start with the tics and the legs bouncing around, moving around, shaking and baking. And people see me out in center field and they're like, does he have an injury? Does he want us to get him off the field?
No.
His leg is like flailing all over the place. So he's leaning down like in a stance with his hat on, but the legs like kicking out
but
every 2 seconds.
When you say he, you mean you.
You. Yeah, I'm in third person. It's safer for me to talk in third person. So, So they see the leg kicking, and then when I kick the leg out, I'm counting. So I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my God.
And this is like how I'll show these guys. It was kind of like that. 1,
it's high.
2,
It's a
3,
high kick.
4, 5,
it's not so little.
7, 1,
it's noticeable.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm like kicking the leg. And then I started counting. And then as it's going on, the inning's going on, they're pitching to the guy, he keeps fouling the ball off. And then all of a sudden, I was in my next round of counting, and I'm at like 2. I'm like 1, 2. And then the ball is raked all the way out to me toward my head, but I'm only on 2. So I with OCD, a normal person would go, oh, there's the ball, I got to get it. But when you have OCD, you have to finish the compulsion, or you can't continue. Something horrible will happen.
Something horrible
your
was
life
happening.
will be altered forever if you don't do it.
It is altered
So
forever.
all of a sudden I'm at 2, balls hit to me, straight power, 100 miles per hour. I'm at 2. I'm like, shit. So I know I have to speed it up. So I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. And then the ball was like 128 feet past me. And the guy ran, I mean, he could have ran around the bases about 4 times. That's how far the ball went. And I never got to it. We lost the game. Everyone was like, people were crying on our team. This is the whole season. Like, we lost everything, the trophy, everything. People were crying. I lied. I said I couldn't see it with the sun. Meanwhile, it was raining. It was like a drizzle. It was so humiliating. And that's when everyone knew Bob's got we didn't know what it was back then. They
I feel
just
like
said
you're going to cry.
I know I might. Back then, it was like they didn't know what OCD was. It was just like you're fucking retarded, or you're mentally ill, or
right. How did you get
I'm
over
not over it? I'm kicking my leg right now talking about it.
I know exactly, Doctor, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I have anxiety attacks. I can't hit a golf ball now. Like, I could play great golf, but then all of a sudden I lose it completely. I can't.
You lose your composure.
I lose it. I can't hit it. So, and I'm out there for 4 hours, and I can't, I'm going, I'm good at this. And all of a sudden I can't hit it. And I'm having major anxiety because I'm supposed to play tomorrow, and there's nothing on the line. There's no money.
Right.
It's what I do. I go on the road. On the road, what else am I going to do but play golf? In a day, I'll lose my mind sitting in a hotel.
It's your therapy playing.
And I go, if I can't hit the ball, and now it's called shanks. I'm hitting it like a fucking, like I'm like an epileptic or something.
Let's get back to.
So I'm just saying, I know what he's going.
Yeah,
I know,
and
it's fucking giving me major anxiety.
Okay,
major.
Dr. Jeff now will cure you. Go ahead, Dr. Jeff.
First up, Rich, that's your ego. We all know you're your own harshest critic.
And he's a scratch golfer.
No, listen to me. I'm telling you. You can ask the guys I play with this weekend. I shoot in the 80s. I'm decent. I'm not great, but I crack the ball off the tee still. I pick up an iron. It's like I have 3 left hands. I'm telling you. Do you play golf, Jeff? Dr. Jeff?
I do not.
Okay, so
I'm not a golfer.
But let's not talk about golf. I know, but you say let's just focus on. Then you can. You don't have to go into something big about it. Go ahead.
Going back to OCD, there is a neurological component to OCD. We don't totally understand it, but earlier onset in guys associated with the basal ganglia.
Oh, the basal ganglia. Every time with the basal ganglia.
But I also do think, Bob, for yourself, that OCD is actually a coping mechanism at times, because it's a great distraction from whatever else is going on. Because you're more worried about the repetition or the light switch or whatever it is than your mom.
Also, I read
a chair over the head.
Yeah, and I read like that, because I read 2 things. Like one, I read a book called Brain Lock, which talks about OCD being it's like a physiological thing where there's like a lack of serotonin that goes to your brain. Did you ever hear about that? And then
that's where. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. And then the other thing I read about too was that people that grow up in an environment where there's no security, the rituals or the obsessive behaviors are the coping mechanism to deal with everything else that they can't control.
I used to do that in bed at night. I used to count numbers around the tiles in my room, and I'd count the tiles, but I would count. And I always had to get to like 9 or something, and then I would start again.
Yeah. Now, why do you think you had the doctor? Why do you think we? Because I think I did it because my parents are divorced. There was a lot. My family structure there was a lot of my mom's in recovery. There was a lot of chaos when I was young at certain points. And maybe I think that's why it got worse, because that was my coping thing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so I'm very strength-based, and a lot of people say it's all about control. You know, you needed control because it wasn't elsewhere, and I think it's less about control. It's a lot more about coping. And you were doing the best you could with the resources at the time because, you know, you weren't an adult and you couldn't do all the things that you can do now, which you're obviously coping a lot better looking at your career and all that you're doing. But back then, that's what you could do.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that if I have to kick my leg out like 9 times and
what
count
about
while I'm on
on
stage?
the Nightly Show? Weren't you nervous and kicking and stuff? Were you kicking it on the Nightly Show?
No, you know, and the other thing too is your compulsions change as you get older, or they just change all the time. You know, that was my thing when I was little.
But you don't take anxiety medicine.
I don't.
I had to take anxiety medicine when I get it.
You also have a bit more control. You might still have them, but you can likely do some that are a little bit more positive or a little less freakish in public, if you will.
Yeah.
You're probably not kicking your leg out. You might just be counting in your head.
How come before I go on stage, I want to take anxiety? Like, I feel like eventually there's going to be one time on stage where everything falls apart. Like, I get anxiety before.
Yeah,
I've been doing this for 32 years.
Why do you think that is?
For the last 2 years.
What's the anxiety? A fear of like, what if they don't like me?
I don't care about that. A fear of just, I don't know, just who knows?
The fear of letting yourself down, I think, Rich.
No, but like, you know, they prescribe, you know, 2 whole pills a day for me, which I only take a half a pill maybe 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
Good for you. Yep.
You know, because I'm an addict, so I'm not going to take way less than I'm supposed to. But I've been doing it for the last 2 years. And I remember years ago I was on Paxil because of anxiety, and then I weaned myself off it. But now the anxiety, this is just, I just get it before I go on stage, and I get it before I play golf. Is that weird?
I think no. It's like
so weird.
Maybe that's what he said. Like, it's a performance thing where you feel like you want to. Are you a perfectionist?
Yeah,
that's where it is. I think, right?
Well,
Doctor?
I'm a control freak. I'm more of a control freak than a perfectionist.
Yeah, those are 2 things you really highly value your identity on. So if you fuck either of those up, you're really worried about it.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I don't like a therapist who swears.
Think. Whatever, Bonnie.
Thank you for fixing everyone.
By the way, I noticed that I do a lot of things. I work out. I do a lot of like gym, whatever, like working out to like mollify the anxiety. Like when I had a day job, I was really a lot more stressed, and now that I can control my schedule, my sleep, going in the gym, that really helps curb a lot of it.
All those are really, really highly correlated with a diminishing of OCD symptoms.
Yep.
So good for you for actually doing what you need to be doing. It's awesome.
Thanks.
A lot of people get themselves in trouble when they're not doing what they know they should be doing.
And good for you, Dr. Jeff, for your charitable call.
Thanks.
I miss Dr. Jeff. I wish, you know what?
Well, we got to take a break, but we'll come back. And if you're around, you can call us back.
No, we can't.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Well, one more. We just go with one quick one. Okay, Lady Trucker, what do you want to ask?
Bob, I'm curious, what kind of a checklist do you have before you masturbate?
A checklist before I masturbate?
She's never asked a question that didn't have a sexual component to it.
Oh, you calling a lot? I just make sure I'm on the white. Listen to me. I make sure on I shouldn't have said that. The black producer's pissed. I had to make sure I'm on the right website. That's all. I need just one component.
How are you, Lady Trucker?
Doing good.
Good. Where are you?
I'm in Iowa.
Oh, I was recently in Iowa. What's the what's that city in Iowa that's not...
Des Moines?
Sioux Falls?
No, Sioux Falls. I did.
Sioux Falls.
Yeah, the Hard Rock Casino there.
It's fun.
One night.
I never did it.
But because I was in Omaha for a week. That was fun. It's nice.
Oh, no, you never did it.
All right, well, stay safe. We got to take a break.
This weekend, I'll be at the Comedy Cove. This weekend, Comedy Cove in Springfield. What do you got? You got anything coming up?
I'm just in the city on Friday. Saturday, I have a private in Long Island.
Okay. Website or Twitter?
At Bob DeBono.
On Twitter. All right. This weekend, Springfield, New Jersey, Comedy Cove.
I've done it, but it's a good little room.
Yeah, I'm so glad I can try.
Bonnie, is he bringing you?
What?
Well, to open for him? Is he helping you get in?
Thank you.
Right.
Hey, you don't help me no more. What the heck?
Next week, Cuyahoga Falls. Funny stop. We'll be back.
How did she die? What did it say?
The angels came and took her. It didn't say, but she died.
I think a dog had something to do with it.
No.
What year was that? Let's take a guess. I say 1963. I say 63.
I know it was the Christmas 2 years ago.
It's got to be 60s. It's totally 60s.
It was 71.
No, it did have. It does have a little bit of that
feel,
weird.
Like the birds or...
Well, first of all,
a lot of pot smoking. It's going to be amazing.
No,
it's going to be a real good song.
It's a great song, Honey. It's about his wife who he loved.
Nigel, it's a song.
She's a little bit dumb and a little bit smart.
But first I thought it was a kid, but then I realized it was his wife.
It's his wife.
What about
because a kid doesn't plant.
I got one for you. What about Bread the Diary?
What's that?
You never heard that one, Lewis?
Bread the Diary
by the band Bread.
Yeah, you never heard that song?
Eric Clapton used to play with Bread, didn't he?
No,
he played with
Bread's like slow. Every song is like a tearjerker.
Why do they call it Bread?
Is there a way you can find
I remember the band Bread.
The Bread? I think it was called The Diary. It's on YouTube. They should have it.
They YouTube.
What?
They act like it's a couple people.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
It started in the fella's basement.
The band Bread. Tell me you've heard this one. We spend the rest of the episode is listening to Sads.
Yeah.
Crying.
Let's think of sad songs.
A lot of them.
Well, the one that the guy...
Gone, I heard she drifted out to... This is Bread.
Listen to this.
I'd rather hear Shannon has drifted out to sea.
Well, anyway, he reads the diary. He thinks it's about him. It's about another guy.
Oh.
So it's all about this guy she loves, but then she gets to get to the end of it. It's about this other guy. It's not him. Thanks, buddy.
No. Well, was I too much on that? Oh, no.
The biggest presidential debate in history last night, the highest viewed presidential debate ever. 80 million people. They thought 100, but 80 million. And we're 84. Playing Bread and Bobby Goldsboro.
People are tired of it. It's like on the train on the way in, all anybody was talking about was the fucking debate. And
he sounded like a fourth grade snitch. Well, Rosie was talking about me.
Yeah, Rosie's a pig, okay? She's a pig, believe me. She's a pig. She's a complete pig, folks. That's not even fat. It's anger inside of her. She's an awful pig. We're doing great in the polls. We're winning by a lot. I mean, we're doing unbelievably well. We're doing fantastically well. I mean, unbelievably well.
Can you do the part where he was saying he wouldn't call, no one will call, what's the guy?
Sean Hannity.
No one will call.
Look. Call Sean Hannity, okay? Look, I never said it, okay? Believe me, I never said it. I said, what I said was, and no one knew this because it was with Sean Hannity alone in the back room, but I said to him, I didn't believe in it, that we should be in Iraq, okay? Ask Sean, call him up. I'll give you the phone number. Call everybody, call at once, obviously. There's 84 million of you. Call separately, ask him. He'll tell you that I never did it. I never said it. I said it. I didn't like the Iraq war. Okay, Crooked Hillary, she said it. She's an idiot. Yeah, it was so ridiculous.
She came off like every woman that's breaking up with you. That's breaking up with you, taking your dog, and just going, like she seemed like.
Well, I thought she should have got angry at some point that Lester Holt, what was he doing there? That he was just like letting things get out of control.
She reminds me of Bonnie every time Bonnie's like, like after a fight, and Bonnie just like goes, makes his face like, like that. Like, I don't even want to get into his buffoonery, but and both of them, I'm sitting there. I'm going this. I tweeted. I go, enough with roast battles. Enough with these things.
I saw that.
It's so like.
Yeah.
I mean, she did keep her composure, but show some more emotion.
But if she did, she was put into a position because if she did get angry at him, then people would say, "See, she doesn't have the disposition."
So what was your take on that? Are you a Republican, right?
No, I'm moderate.
Independent.
Yeah, I'm moderate.
I'm an independent. What are you? Well, you're Canadian, so does it matter?
Well, no, I mean, I'm definitely 100% for Hillary, but I don't like to say it on the radio because I'm tired of the death threats. I get it. It's all a part of, our world.
I thought the assessment of last night was pretty, on point when they said like the first 20 to 30, when they were talking about trade, he was doing well. And you're kind of like cheering for him.
The thing is, when you're watching
I wanted him to surprise me.
The reason there is a likability of the guy, like when he's just talking.
Because he's imperfect.
Like she's too politics, and he's so on the other side of it. And when
you cheer for him, you're kind of like cheering for like that would be me.
But it's like you want that guy to also have intelligence about what it would be like to run the country.
The first 30, he was really on point. He really got her good when he was like, well, with the emails, you deleted the emails. Well, that wasn't an accident. That was moving. Like people were like,
but he also does this thing which is so annoying where in the beginning you don't notice it so much, but by the end of it, you're like, okay, he does 3 sentences that he never finishes. Then he goes into something else. Then he goes back to those 3 sentences that he started with. It's like
repeat themselves.
But he never says anything
to drive the point in. And he was good when it came to business. Obviously, he knows business.
The birther stuff. He's got no answer. How do you not have an answer for that? Right. Don't they sit down with him and go, look, they're going to hit you with the question about Obama.
Well, I think he just says like, I'll deal with it. You know, it's fine.
And they answer, hey, you should have said something, but you still have no reason why you just a week ago came out and finally admitted that it was never truthful. Why don't you just say, look, I don't like Obama. I really thought I wanted to believe he wasn't from here. We would have taken that. Mm-hmm. But instead, he just said, what did he say? He just said...
Well, this is another trucker, not the lady trucker.
Another trucker. Is this your demographic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. All right. I want to know, what do you think about when Donald did make that remark about the 33,000 emails? And I don't think they were expecting the crowd to make that much noise in the background.
Right. That's they possible. Didn't. That's true. They didn't. They actually made a comment for the crowd not to say anything.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I think that.
I thought that was his high point. I thought of the whole thing. The debate was him pointing that, and he should have driven that home more. He should have gone back to.
I read about. Go ahead. I'm sorry. When I was reading online today, when they were talking about cyber warfare, that's when he should have went with the fucking emails.
Yep, and Whitewater. He should have. He should have hit her with everything at that point.
Now I don't know. Do you follow politics, Trucker? Do you follow?
Yes, a lot. Believe me. I have nothing better to do.
Was there, because I don't know the story, I don't know, and you might know, did the Clinton Foundation or something to do with the Clintons sell Russia uranium?
Yes, Hillary had this deal going on in the background while she was Secretary of State. And somehow, miraculously, right after she had some kind of meeting with Russia, she got like a $250 million donation to her foundation or something like that.
Okay, so when she attacked him about hanging out with, what's his name, Putin. Putin or Putin, whatever. When she attacked him, I said Vladimir. When she attacked
Vladimir,
whatever the fuck his name is,
I thought he was joking.
So dumb.
I think he's
joking.
No,
not dumb. I know just because I don't know the name.
I'm kidding.
Say
but
you're joking.
I am joking.
But
okay, so when
you're joking,
wait. If you know about this, when she attacked him about his connection with what's his name, how come he didn't bring up the whole uranium thing?
Well, I don't know because I don't know. It totally threw me at the beginning, though, because she reminded me of back in the days when I used to take a lot of Valium. If you watched her from the beginning, she was like, "Oh, I think she's fixing to fall over here in a second."
Well, that they said
that's what they trained her to. They probably said, "Look, when you go out there, let him hang himself with his own rope. You're going to get under his skin with a couple of." You know that she was trying to go after him to get under his skin.
Oh, yeah.
He took the bait. He started getting very emotional, and she just sat back and just smiled and let him look like a buffoon.
The smiling was driving me nuts.
That's funny.
No,
that's
what arrogant. Don't you want to smack them?
Women do. They bait you.
They bait you, and then they laugh at you when they know you're upset, and then they end up throwing a lamp.
Okay, guys.
And you know what? She looked like. Know what she looked like? She's living in your house after you got kicked out of your own house.
It's like my girlfriend. She starts a fight with me in Cheesecake Factory, and then I start yelling, and then everyone in the restaurant's looking at me like I'm the asshole because I got loud for a second.
I can't believe
I thought you look like the Joker.
I can't believe you have a girlfriend. So,
that's more surprising.
Trucker, you're a Donald Trump supporter?
His name is another Trucker.
Another supporter of mine. There he is. He's white.
You're a Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I wasn't until I was happening to be going into town one night in Memphis, and my wife said, "Oh, guess what? You're going to be just in time for a Donald Trump rally." I said, oh, what the hell? I went online, got tickets, showed up out there about 30 miles north of Memphis, and I'm like, wow, check this out. I've never been to a political rally. But, I mean, he did put on a good or what would you call it, he put on a good show. Let's put it that way.
But are you able to differentiate between a show and then the entertainer and then also a guy that has to actually make real decisions and know what he's talking about? I mean, can you see the difference?
Yeah.
Like I can get swooned into, that guy's the guy's a great entertainer. It's like remember Morton Downey Jr.? You used to watch that guy's talk show. You watch him because he was outrageous, but you don't know if you want this guy deciding on the rest of your future.
Politics, though, I mean, he's got a proven track record that he's a good businessman.
No,
does he?
Does he really?
But we don't know that. We only know what we get.
Yeah, okay.
And why won't he release his tax, whatever it is, and why? That's not
you know, I don't know about all that deal right there, but politics is all a big show if you look at it. I mean, I've been driving a truck for years, and I see this country for what it is, and I mean, it's just totally fucked right now.
Yeah, but I don't think it is fucked, but I don't think it's considered. I don't know what one person's going to do to turn all this shit around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, the government getting involved in everything like they do. I mean, just like trucking. I mean, trucking has just gone to hell in a handbasket. It's the most overregulated department of the government. I mean, my God, every time we turn around, it's so what are they checking us every time we go to the bathroom anymore for what we do?
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for calling.
No, I want.
Yes.
He keeps cutting off. Like
he's cutting off. And
why did he keep breaking out?
But also, I don't like to talk about politics on this show in particular because we're dumb. And
no, we're not dumb.
No, but people have been talking about it all day long.
So let him talk a little. Let somebody call.
Not him, but I mean, he's fine. I'm not mad at anyone. I didn't hang up on him because I was angry. I'm just,
He kept breaking up. But he was in the middle of a good story. Just because you don't want to hear.
He wasn't in the middle of a good story. He was saying, trucking is overregulated.
It is.
Is it?
Huh?
I don't know anything about trucking.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could have learned. I mean,
I heard that
I don't
song
even know.
I know I listened to that song by Grateful Dead. They have a song called Trucking.
Yeah.
Can you play that song?
No, that takes 20 minutes.
Good, then we'll be done.
Do you know the taxes they have to pay and the tolls, and everything?
Well, that's what Trump, and that's why Trump's resonating with people like him, because it's for the rest of the country, the middle America, the working guy, these people don't have much. There's no money, very little income coming in.
Yeah.
And they have very menial jobs, and they work very, very hard, and they want to see the payoff.
Yeah, some people are working.
I think there's a broad stroke when they go, Trump's followers are fucking idiots and they're racist. That's not true. A lot of the people that he's resonating with are just people that are probably like manual laborers or guys that just want to see change because they're tired of the lies of regular politicians.
Why do they want a guy who doesn't pay his taxes and wants to?
Well, that's the problem.
To cut the taxes of the rich, the billionaires,
the rich, the 1%.
But when they say cut the taxes of the billionaires, I'm sure he's saying, and I don't know, I could be completely off base. I think he's saying cut the taxes across the board, not just for rich people.
Right. I mean, his stance.
I mean, I don't know, because
stance is always give tax breaks to the rich, because then the rich will create more jobs because they're going to expand. And then the Democrats are always like, no, help the middle class because the rich don't really expand. They just keep it all for themselves. That's kind of like the two.
Yeah, and the people that are saying that are getting fucking rich.
Bob DeBono explains politics
Can you believe it,
second graders.
Well, let's go back to Danielle calling him a cunt.
Well, we'll get back to something. Okay, we have a call from John in North Plainfield.
Oh, North Plainfield, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
North Plainfield, home of Red Tower 2.
Awesome.
Go ahead. Hilarious.
Wait, can we listen to our caller?
Oh, sorry.
He's talking like he doesn't know there's a microphone in front of his face.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
No, nothing. Take the call.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Go ahead, John.
What's your question?
We don't have one. You called us, remember?
Is he on? Did you?
John.
North Plainfield. Click. Make sure he's on.
He's on. It's on.
Put him on hold.
How come we can't hear anything?
Oh, he hung up. Everyone hung up. Every single call just hung up.
Then there's something wrong with the phone. There's something wrong with the fucking phones.
I was going to tell my mother to call in.
Well,
but there's something wrong with the phones.
Okay.
And it's pissing me off.
Say it one more time.
Something wrong with the phones.
Okay. So Bob told me that he listened to one of our podcasts 7 times.
He's lying. He didn't listen that many times.
No, 8. And you cried.
I cried on that one. You need to.
That was the earliest one. That was
it was very early, 2 years ago at least.
Yeah, it was like number 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
It was called Bonnie Cries, and Rich would tell. You used to. I remember I'd be like standing there and I'd overhear you being like, Bonnie Cries. You'd be yelling it to people.
No, that was a good podcast.
Why would it? You know,
that was real.
It was awful. Wasn't it awful?
It was real. I'm trying to find if I have it on my phone.
It's a screensaver.
Oh, I was probably the
fact
most
that you cried
depressed.
is why I saved
Not
it.
screensaver,
because when we started the podcast, I was probably more depressed than I'd ever been in my life.
Yeah, I just remember you going, I just want to get this and let's get this thing off the air.
It was awful. And then there was a couple of times you would just fucking browbeat me, just beat me down.
Well, he was talking about anxiety and telling a story, and then you were cutting him off.
Being funny, trying to be funny. He hates
and you were
that.
making jokes, and he went, would you shut the fuck up? And then there was like silence. And then you started crying, and then he felt bad. He was like, I'm sorry. Look, you're funny. You're funny. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Tell a joke. You're funny. And then I guess you're listening, so you don't know what he's doing. But he was, I guess, trying to like get closer to you to make you feel better. But instead of like hugging you or giving you a kiss, you go, why are you shaking my hand? Like he grabbed your hand to like shake it. You're like, I'm your fucking wife. You shake my hand. I'm crying. That's when I get a handshake.
Well, usually he goes for the boob. He literally goes to hug me if I'm upset, and then within 1 second, it's
He's
like rubbing. Yes.
Did you hear the podcast?
He's suckling.
You hear the podcast where she blew me on the podcast?
No,
Stop it. That's not true. It didn't happen.
Is that true?
I went like this.
She kissed it. It's like the Vos joke. She kissed it.
It didn't
I wish I had. I know this is not my phone somewhere.
Look at Trump on Beauty Queen. She gained a massive amount of weight.
She's so fat, folks. Unbelievable, baby. She's so fat.
So where are you going to do your Trump impression?
So anyway, that's what happened with the Nightly Show. You had asked me about it.
Yeah.
So I was putting together an SNL reel of a bunch of voices. All right. And then I needed something more contemporary. So then I was working on the Trump thing for like 4 months. I couldn't get it. People think when you do an impression, you just all of a sudden just do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. But for me, I just kept working on it. Couldn't do it. And then I just took one word. Sometimes you just take a word. Yeah. And I love the way he says jobs. He just doesn't say the word jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Jobs. Country. Like cunt, country.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing that while I was like, and then before you know it, I got it. And then I sent it over to Rory.
Right.
At the show, and I go, you guys must need a Trump. Like,
right.
Oh, come on, I'll do Trump. And then he said, hey, I love it. I'll show it to Larry. Larry loved it, brought me in. It was like an audition. I went in that day to dress rehearsal. They loved it. I was on that night. They signed me an exclusive deal through November, gave me like a lump sum of money. You're the exclusive Trump for the show. And,
is that why you're wearing a new hoodie?
Yeah. I got
how many days?
My big money.
How many days did you go in a week?
Every week, once a week.
And did you have to write the material? Or did
they wrote it, but I would put the Trumpisms in there. Sometimes I would add a line here and there. But that's when you really learn about the difference between being an art, when you're a comedian and you're delivering the lines, and the writers, when you know this because you've written for a lot of things, but you could write you're a comedian, right? And you can work with a writer and he might write something funny, but you know that it may not translate. You have to deliver it differently. Mm-hmm. And then when you that's the line where you don't want to, take away the integrity of what they wrote because that's what they get paid to do. At the same time, you know that it should be delivered maybe a different way because you're the performer, and that's where you guys can have to compromise and meet in the middle without letting your egos.
I never compromise. I always do what I want to do, and that's why I don't get anything because
you're an artist. You know?
I can't read that shit.
Like I can't go in and have somebody give me a script and go, you're going to do this word for word, and then at this line right here, kind of sigh, go.
But that's acting. That's what happens.
And
because you have to do it that way because the director has a shot in mind.
Right.
It's like two lines before.
But what I'm saying
a lot of times it's like 2 lines before the thing, and they have their vision, and so they want you to do the 2 lines the way they want you to do them.
Right. But that's for a movie. You're talking about a movie, not television.
But television too. I mean, essentially all television works the same as movies, except for sitcoms.
No, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Sitcoms, the lines in sitcoms. He's talking about.
But sitcoms. But the reason that you do the lines. Like when I was on a sitcom, honestly, you would say, they'd say, put it in the box, and you'd say, put it in a box. They'd be like, oh, it's the, I mean, that
box.
actually makes a difference, what I just said. But sometimes it wouldn't make any difference, but they would stop you and you have to say the exact line.
What was the real line? Put it in my box?
Put it in my box, baby. And then, and the reason is because there's other people there acting off of you. So they want you, they've memorized their lines according to your lines.
Well, also, good actors could follow, like the Larry David show.
It depends. It's like some directors love it if you ad lib.
Yes, and that's what we're really talking about. I think in acting in general, there's different schools of your approach. I feel like as an artist, if you do a character, the character has to breathe. So you give me the lines, let me take it, but let me create the character around it. And if I change it a little bit, I want you to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. There's other schools that are like, we're going to write it exactly and you're going to do every word, and to me, it's not acting. You're just telling me what I'm a robot.
To me, I believe in you tell me the character's name and I'll write the whole thing.
Right. That's how
we go along.
Yeah.
That's what you tell me. I mean, give me the situation.
But why? What scares you so much about memorizing lines?
I'm not good at memorizing.
But that's ridiculous. Then what do you want to do with? What is the end goal here?
to do theaters as a comic.
Yeah. You do theaters now.
Sometimes, yeah.
So
my goal is to be a great comic and
well, you're a great comic now,
but to get better and better.
But do you also want to act? Would you be like do movies or?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
what if they had a breakdown? Hey, Rich, we have this great sitcom. You're going to be like the wacky.
I'd rather do
neighbor.
a movie than a sitcom, and yes, I would do. I would definitely be the wacky neighbor. Yes, of course, the money, and then doing that would help me sell seats in the comedy clubs. Yep. Hopefully, my end game or my goal is to be a great comic. And that's what I work on.
That's you.
You know, it's just like
I just want to sell out your funeral.
I've already said that. I've already said I want to hit bonus on my funeral. But
I've already said that joke.
Yes, and
I've been doing this for 80 years. Every joke is already been said by me. Remember when his brother died? Was it your brother or your mom?
My brother.
I mean, they both died. But anytime it was when your mom died, and then anytime I'd say anything about like the funeral process or where he goes, I have a joke about that. Like you weren't allowed to talk about.
You were afraid that you were gonna like say a joke and it would be his joke.
Yeah, he's like he kept because his brother had died, so he'd written a bit about his brother.
What was this? A long time ago?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago.
What about your
2
mom?
weeks ago.
Oh, a while ago?
A couple months ago.
Oh,
yesterday.
3 months ago.
That's hard to write about, your mom.
No, I don't write about it. I use my brother.
He wrote about his brother.
But how did you handle that? You're close to your mom?
No, a little. I mean, what I did learn from my mom is hard work.
You were in her vagina just a couple weeks before she died.
Ew, that's so gross. Who would say that about somebody's dead mom? Who would say that?
This is going to end with somebody crying again.
I kind of stole that from an open micer anyway. Because he said he made a joke similar to that.
The only thing, dead thing I fucked was you the other night when you laid there. Remember? That was not funny.
I have to go to my special place. They'll all be over soon, Bonnie. That's why I have two personalities. It's from the.
So you weren't that close to your mom?
Oh, I never cried at either.
His mom was sick for a long time. So.
Would she have cancer or something?
Oh, no. She had ingrown hangnail, got infected.
That's staph infection.
Dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh. What about your dad?
Yeah, what about him?
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, you closer to your dad?
No. I'm close to my kids.
Yeah.
I broke the chain.
You broke the chain. I get it. I know. I get it. Sure. Coming from my family.
I'm close with my kids. I have thousands of pictures of my kids. I have videos. I have memories. Yeah. Good memories.
What about you have a sister though, right?
Yes.
Close to her?
Here's a guy who can help you with acting. James from Utah.
I know how we could solve Rich's acting problems. We could have him just stand there on scene like Jackie Chan, and Bob comes in and voices all his lines. And then Rich is always
perfect.
Oh, right? Like a puppet? Like a Muppet?
Yeah, like you memorize it, and then he just, Let's see if
he'll stand there and open his mouth, and I'll be behind like a curtain going, okay,
show. Exactly.
Yes.
I think it'll work.
I jerked off, I came in my eye, and I want a stuffed animal.
Now, that's so old.
But the funny thing is that those jokes don't seem like real. Like, you should just let him pretend that he's just making that up, like in the Rich Voss character, because those are actual jokes he used to do.
He did
years ago.
All attributed to him.
Yeah, no, there's never been a joke you haven't done.
I got 5 CDs.
James,
that
that's a great
joke,
great
is that
technique.
really? Is
Thank
that
you
your
so
joke?
much for
Does that
calling.
seem?
Yeah, everybody says it's theirs. But,
People go, "Oh, that's been I was out there," but is that?
but I did it how many years ago?
I'm saying like
25 years ago.
Yeah. So that's your joke.
Yeah, I did 25 years ago. And then somebody did it on TV, and then this one guy.
Who did it on TV?
I don't want to say.
Who did? What
But
joke?
he was an older comic.
Another hack.
I go. I mean, this was 20.
What's the joke?
I used to go out with a homeless girl, which was great because I could drop her off anywhere.
It's a great joke.
And that was, but it's a homeless joke, so how could 1,000 people could think of this?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
That was, and one guy called me and goes, that's my joke. I go, I've been doing it. I did it on my album.
Yeah.
Like my first CD.
Or you could have just written it like horizontal thinking. You
it's
wrote
parallel thinking.
Well, why? I say
it's parallel thinking.
I feel geometry. I can't even do that
thinking.
Right.
Kilometer thinking.
I'm so dumb. So dumb. Yeah, I think that. You could have just written it and someone else wrote the same thing.
There's sometimes, this is why I don't watch comics. Or try not to, unless it's someone that I know.
See, this is why I do watch them, so I can steal.
No, because back in the day, I used to ad-lib a lot. I used to do a lot of crowd work and ad-lib. So sometimes boom, boom.
Yeah.
And if there could have been something I've said that I heard somewhere.
You didn't even know you heard it. You forgot you heard it.
Yeah. So that's why I start for years. But I listen on the radio. Like I'll listen to like a Anthony Jeselnik because I'll never
totally
do
different.
Like I'll listen to Stanhope because I'll never tell rants like him. There's certain comics. I'll listen to anybody now because I have my own voice. I'm me.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I said I can't. I'm
the same way.
I'm not going to watch comics because. Unless it was Patrice or Colin, you know what I mean? Somebody that I know.
Yeah.
If I'm ad-libbing, I'm not going to do, So that homeless joke, I did that fucking 25, I don't know how many years ago.
Yeah.
That was 20, whatever.
Do you still feel a lot of people, do people still ever take your jokes, or do you still feel like there's a lot of thievery? Do you feel like someone's ever taken your joke?
No, not really. I mean, there's been,
I've tried giving my jokes away. No one will take them.
When people kind of take a little bit here and there from your act,
a lot of that.
It's not, you couldn't, I remember a girl, I used to do a joke where I'd say thrice times a day, instead of 3 times a day. It's such a stupid, I can't even remember the joke. But then I saw this other girl she said, and thrice on Sundays, and I knew she stole it from me. But what are you going to do? Be like, I use the word thrice in my act.
A lot of times
I like stupid stuff like that.
A lot of times on the road, if I'm doing crowd work, by Saturday, the MC is doing fucking crowd work. They're doing, here's the thing in comedy. One, now with the internet, my stuff, most of it's on a CD.
It's all out there.
It's out there. But no one could steal your persona. They can't steal you.
Well, not necessarily true.
Well, they can. But
I mean, the thing is that there's like a lot of people that, that used to do Dave Attell, let's say.
Brian Regan.
And, and so, but then the good comics obviously continue working and develop their own voice or whatever. Because I remember Big J, I used to think sounded like Dave Attell.
Absolutely.
And now he's so fantastic on his own.
He's great comic, but I think you get inspired by people.
Yes.
No.
What's that?
I said, I don't see it.
No, he's one of the best.
One of my favorites. Mm-hmm. But no one could steal you.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And, so you got to keep creating. And when they say acting, I would love to be in a movie or on a sitcom. But also, I would love to be, Billy Burr, who's such a great comic, who's selling out theaters.
Is he still on a trajectory, Bill? Yeah,
I would imagine. See, there's people that sell out theaters, but they're not Bill Burr. They'll sell out theaters because they're whatever
manufactured.
No, he's really one of the last of the comedians that became famous as a comedian.
I agree with that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I believe there's a lot of comics out there that are very big, that are manufactured. To me, they're frauds because they're not even who they are on stage. They're off stage. They're not who they are on stage. But a lot of it has to do with the fucking
audience. They need to be held accountable too, because they fucking laugh at such dumb bullshit.
But also
the audience. It's like sometimes they're
dumb.
I stand out there and it's these Yeah, I just I don't even want to do it.
But also,
it's like, what? You're the dumbest fucking.
Because it's all about casting now. The networks sink their teeth in you and they go, you're going to be this person. We're going to make you this person. And then they promote the shit out of you to everybody and force America to go, this is what comedy is.
Right.
And then Americans are dumb to go, honestly, all right, I guess that's what's funny.
I think that does happen a lot. And they say, this is what drives me nuts, is that they'll say,
I've been itching my crotch.
They'll say some woman is so great, but they'll make it seem like she's as great as Maria Bamford, let's say. And it's like, no, she's not even in the same fucking category. So
Makes me angry. Frauds.
You can say you like her or she's talented, but why does it always have to be like the next big thing, the greatest,
but that's everything.
the
Like
greatest?
TBS.
It's like
Wednesdays never got so funny.
Yes,
and
it drives me bonkers.
Sitcom.
They do it with TV all the time.
It's
They're like, this hit show, it's been on once. How is it determined?
It's all market. It's the marketing machine.
It's not just networks. It's well, obviously the internet. They're promoting. They're pushing and Twitter.
Right.
And
it's packaging. They find someone who they want to package, and they package the hell out of them to everybody with every sort of vehicle and platform. They can make you can't get away from it. It's on your computer. It's on commercials. It's on TV. It's in movies. And then before you know it, the people are just force-fed that, well, this is what is funny. This is supposed to be really funny, so you have to like it. And then they go, all right, I guess I have to go see them when they do a theater tour because they were in a movie I just heard that was supposed to be good, even though it's not that good. But I was told that was good, so I went and saw that. And then I have to go see this person because they're famous. I mean,
my daughter just went to the Oddball Festival, and Bonnie made a good point. When they started the Oddball Festival, it was
hipster.
It was real oddballs.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know. I don't know who it was when they started it, but now, there's just whatever.
Mainstream as you can get.
Mainstream,
Yeah.
And I
also believe a lot of these people
they're good or bad.
Yeah.
Some of them are my friends.
But they're not oddballs. They're not what that originally was.
Yeah. It's all about, look, when we did the virus tour, it was all the O&A regulars, and then they would throw on, some headliners, but they all did O&A. Except one or two, what I mean?
No women on that tour at all.
Ever?
There never was one. I remember they asked me, remember they were like, you want to jump on one of these shows? And I was like, no.
Okay.
You said that? Why?
Risk versus reward. It was, because people were, that was the night Bill Burr got
famous.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Does that eat away at you when you see your contemporaries and you see people?
the weird thing is that I'm not as ambitious at stand-up as I probably
because I get mad. I get mad when I see they might say, "Well, this one woman's amazing," and everyone else. You're thinking, I know 50 women off the top, and they're way better.
Yes, I know that
pisses me off.
Bonnie paved the way for most of these.
I don't like
women.
that because then
makes you feel old. Makes you feel like you're a Samara.
Like I'm done.
Listen, when Bonnie,
I've got a lot of people standing on my shoulders.
When Bonnie, first of all, when she was with Clyde, let me tell you something.
Oh boy, the things I did and said.
Yes,
who's that?
No, look,
Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh.
I really only get jealous about people who are actually very talented and funny because I'm jealous that they're talented and funny. When I see people getting ahead that aren't.
Well,
I don't know why I don't get as angry about it because I'm not. I just think I'm better than them. So who cares? I mean, I've never been motivated by money or fame.
Listen, I listened to Sears. That guy Sebastian is fucking funny, man.
He's funny.
He's fucking funny.
Yeah.
And, he sells out and I listen to him on. I
like him a lot.
I've never seen him live, but I listen to him on Sears. Fucking, and I heard he's very animated. So I listen to fucking Jeselnik is fucking funny.
Great joke writer.
Funny joke writer.
Original.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing about Sirius is that you really do break it down because you're not drunk in your car, hopefully, and you're just listening.
You're not watching.
But you're just listening to the jokes, and then all of a sudden it's like these people with the empty premises. It seems.
There's some that are so
obvious.
bad. I'm going, why did you make a CD? There's like 12 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Why? It's so bad. And I heard myself on there today, and it was an okay bit. I go, but there's other bits that you have of mine that are so much better.
Yeah.
We gotta. What is next for you, Bob? Like what show? The nightly show is done. Are you going to go on to the Daily Show?
I think I'm going back to waitering.
Do you do like?
You're going to be the Donald Trump at the wait.
Do you do Red Eye?
I do. Oh yeah, I've done that. Done Red Eye.
We got 1 minute.
My goal is now.
We don't care. I'll be at the Comedy Cove this weekend in Springfield, New Jersey. Friday and Saturday, the Comedy Cove. Next week, the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls.
Yeah.
Can we hear one?
What are you, Matt Dillon?
Oh, yeah, Matt Dillon.
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I heard she's dating that guy. That guy's a goddamn faggot, man. I'll kick his ass, man. Come on, man.
You're very good.
So Friday and Saturday, Springfield, New Jersey.
It's
Bonnie?
funny, but it's real. You can tell.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's real.
Well, because some impressions are so over the top.
They're not even accurate.
I don't think. I don't.
I'm a
get
method,
They're almost like
I'm
an
a
impression
method
of an
actor.
impression.
I like when I do it, I want to channel it. I don't want to do like a cartoon of it.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of impression.
I think he's doing an impression of people doing impressions. All right,
we got a show coming up on November 2nd. We got to plug too. So it's for the New York Comedy Festival and for Sirius Radio, and it's Would You Bang 'Ems.
She really hates him, it's really true. Why did she marry this jackass Jew? Some people say that opposites attract, but this seems more like a suicide pact. He's totally sober, she's not that drunk. He's really old and she's got some spunk. He's totally holy as an asinine bomb, and she's just a little less dumb. She really hates him, it's really true. But somewhere deep down, she loves him too.